Hello, Aarti.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Please feel free to switch on your cameras during this session. We'll start in 2 minutes. Let's just wait for a couple of minutes, more students to join, and then we'll start. Hello, Devansh.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Arun, Vidyaveer. I hope all of you are doing good.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hello, Pradyuman. Hi, Kabir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Please feel free to switch on your cameras during this session. Okay, so I think we are good to start. Once again, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this first session of IGCSE Masterclass series organized by Sparkle. I hope all of you are doing good. So, I'll be your host for this session. My name is Himanshu. I am head of the mathematics department here at Sparkle. So, how are you guys doing? Still enjoying your winter break or is it over?
My winter break is still going on.
The winter break is still going on. Okay. So, today's session is for IGCSE International Mathematics, grade 10. So I guess all of you are enrolled for the same course. You all will be appearing for international math exam this year, right? Okay. And you're all appearing for the Feb series.
Yes. Yes.
Please feel free to answer, and there's a chat option. You can answer in the chat as well.
No, sir. May June.
Okay. Agya, you will be appearing in the May June series, and you can raise your hands as well to answer questions. So, may I know who all are already enrolled with Sparkle, who are already taking classes in Sparkle? You can raise your hands to answer. Okay, so we have Anaya. Anaya, I have seen your scores. I was really impressed by your progress.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Ariman. So, Yadavir, I think he is not currently enrolled with Sparkle. Okay, so Kabir, we have hello, hello. Okay, so I think we are good to start. I can see most of you are already enrolled with Sparkle. We have a few students who are not currently enrolled with Sparkle, but you're most welcome, guys. So let's start. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible to all of you. So I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
all of
It's
you are
visible.
great, great. Thanks, Devansh. So I'm sure you all are curious to know what exactly we'll be doing in this session. Uh, Let me first start with telling you what we won't be doing in this session. This is not a teaching session. I'm sure you all have attended a lot of teaching sessions in the past couple of years. Okay, we are not going to solve problems here. We are not going to discuss any questions as such. What exactly we'll be doing in this session? We'll be focusing on the exam structure, marking schemes, we'll do some past paper analysis. Actually, the analysis has already been done. I'll share the insights with you. Okay, I'll be discussing some of the common mistakes made by the students during the exams. So basically, it's going to be like a do's and don'ts and tips and tricks kind of a session. Okay, so I hope all of you are ready. We'll be doing some activities during this session as well. There's going to be a Q&A section towards the end where we'll have a discussion. You can ask all your queries. And towards the end of the session, I'll be sharing some mock papers with you as well. Okay. And those papers are specially curated by Sparkle's faculties at Sparkle. So they are going to help you a lot for your final exam preparations. I can see we have few more students who have just joined. So hello everyone. Once again, we are about to start and welcome to the session. There is a chat option. You can send messages in the chat. Please feel free to turn on your video. Keep your videos on during this session and keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. Otherwise, please feel free to unmute yourself if you want to say something. Okay, great. So let's start. So we all know you'll be taking three examination papers, paper two, paper four, and paper six. So could you tell me when exactly is paper two in the month of Feb? Anyone?
So I don't know that, but I just wanted to say one thing that I don't have the 0607, I have 0580 instead. Is there any differences?
There's a slight difference in the syllabus and the approach and the type of questions. 0607 heavily relies on technology and not as much in 0580, but you can still attend this session. I think the tips and tricks I'll be sharing during this session, those are going to be helpful for your extended math course as well.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a paper two, paper four, calculator based, paper six, investigation and modeling. The grades will range from A star to E. Uh, do we have anyone who has taken international mathematics core in this meeting? Any one of you? I guess all of you are for extended. So extended students are expected to score somewhere between A star to C, and the lower grades are for the core students, and below E, it's actually ungraded, but I don't think that's going to be the case with any one of you. Now, before we start, I just want to test how well you know your papers. Okay, so I'll be sharing a few questions with you. Okay, it's going to
So
be
sorry to interrupt. My mic wasn't working. My daughter is in international maths. She doesn't have extended.
yeah, ma'am. International maths also has two variants, core and extended. So most of the
She's on
students,
extended.
yeah. So this session primarily focuses on international maths extended. So I would like to ask you a few questions with the help of a small quiz, where I would like to know how well do you guys know your exam. So let's start. Paper two and paper four have the same duration and the same number of marks.
Excuse me.
Yes, Anaya.
I'm in 0580, so I'm not entirely sure about this subject code.
It's okay. The tips and tricks which I'll be sharing with you during this session, those are applicable for 0580 as well. Okay,
All right.
most of the topics and the tips, those things are going to be common. It's just that the exam structure, the paper structure is going to be slightly different.
Got it.
Okay, so yes, all of you are absolutely correct. Paper two and paper four, they have the same duration and the same number of marks. Paper six contributes the same percentage to the overall grade as paper two. Is this true or false? I hope you are able to see the second question.
I can't see the second question.
One second. Okay, now I believe you will be able to.
Yeah.
So paper 6 contributes the same percentage to the overall grade as paper 2. Come on, guys. I can see not everyone is responding. Please mark your responses. That's actually false. Paper 6 is 50 marks. Paper 2 and 4 are for 75 marks. A GDC is required in all the three papers. No, it's not required in paper 2. Correct. Paper 2 mainly tests core skills without a calculator, while paper 6 focuses on investigation, modeling, and explanation. Correct. That's also true. This is the last one. Statistics and probability are strongly tested only in paper 6. That's actually false. Very rarely you will come across problems from statistics and probability in paper 6. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss the reason for that as well during this session. Okay. So I can see all of you are uh, familiar with your exams in detail. Okay. Just to give you a quick summary, so paper 2 calculator is not allowed, duration 90 minutes, marks 75. This is 40% of your overall grade because your total would add up to 200 marks. The main focus is on core skills without calculator. The type of questions that you will come across in paper 2, you will see the initial question, those are going to be short skills or pretty much direct questions. In the middle section, you will come across problems which will require you to either multiple topics are related to each other, or it is going to be a multi-step solution and you are supposed to express your solution in detail. And towards the end you will come across more long structured questions, sometimes connected to a real life context as well. The strongly tested topics are number, algebra, equations, inequalities, geometry, trig in paper 2. Now, if you have seen paper 2 or paper 4, paper 6, I hope all of you are familiar with command terms like state, explain, solve. So, could you tell me which command terms are uh, more frequently used in paper 2 questions?
Cal-
Non calculate,
All
okay. Solve, that's correct.
Justify.
Justify, not that much, but sometimes. Anything else? The two most common command terms you will come across in paper 2, those are going to be solve or find. If you go through the past year papers, you will find these terms being used most frequently. Okay. Now, if we talk about the paper 4, everything else is going to remain same. It's just that GDC will be allowed. And once again, if I ask you in terms of command terms, which command term would you find most often being used in paper 4, including the ones in paper 2? Anyone?
solve.
Naya? Solve is frequently used, that's correct, but another thing is it's calculator based, and you will see calculate, that's another command term which is frequently used in paper 4, because there are expressions, there are numbers that you're dealing with and you're supposed to perform calculation, obviously in a structured way using multiple steps, and you're supposed to mention your steps as well, but you will find calculation based problems more in paper 4. Apart from that, functions and graphs, because you have the access to AI, so you will find more graph related problems in paper 4. Okay. And even trigonometry as well, like for example using the graphs of sin x and cos x, those type of questions as well you will come across more in paper 4 where graphs are used, because obviously for sketching your graphs you can use GDC. One more thing I would like to know from you guys, like, can you use any calculator for your exam? Are there any rules? Are there any restrictions?
Yeah, no digital or online, like the digital calcs. You can't use those.
Correct. And there should not be any sort of connectivity in your
Connecting.
like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, something like that. And it should not have the memory option as well. Any type of external storage. So how can you get it checked, like whether the calculator which you are using is correct or not? Is it allowed or not? Well, one thing is you can take the help of your school teachers to get it approved. Apart from that, the calculator policies are mentioned over the IGCSE website as well. So I think they have listed the models as well which you are supposed to use and which you can't use. Okay, so please ensure that you are using the correct one only. Now, paper six is investigation and modeling. Now, something unusual which I always observe here, if you look at the three columns, I can see that duration is same for all the three papers, which is of 90 minutes. But in terms of marks, paper six is only for 50 marks. So, what could be the possible reason for this?
It takes
Anyone?
more thinking time.
Correct, absolutely correct, Anaya. It requires more thinking time, as the title suggests, investigation and modeling. So you are supposed to spend more time on the problems which are given to you in paper 6. Okay, there will be one investigation task and there will be one modeling task. Both of them will be related to each other. Modeling would be related to some sort of, some real world example, something like that. Okay, so recognition of pattern in paper 6, building the models using functions and interpreting those results, that is more important. uh reas may I know the command terms, like someone mentioned earlier, justify. Could you tell me more command terms like this which are frequently used in paper 6 apart from justify? Justify is frequently used in paper 6. Yes, I am.
Investigate.
Investigate, correct. You can also mention your responses in the chat if you don't want to speak, but I would really appreciate if you're speaking and if you're keeping your cameras on during this session. So in paper 6, you will find more command terms being used like explain, describe, justify. So there you are supposed to provide some sort of conclusion because you are working on a model. Okay, you are supposed to write a few statements. It should not be like very lengthy statements of 2 3 lines, but the conclusions which you are writing, they should be crisp but logical. Now, this is another important part. Like we, especially like those who have not, prepared that well during the past 2 years. So obviously, when you have limited amount of time, your priority should be to focus on the topics which hold high weightage. So numbers, algebra, functions, graph, coordinate geometry. They hold approximately 50 to 60% marks in your exam, and obviously these are unofficial pattern, like there is nothing fixed as such, but this is just from some analysis which I did based upon past few year papers and going through few series. Geometry, mensuration, transformations, vectors, trigo, you will get 25 to 35% marks. Probability in statistics, 10 to 15% marks. Investigation and modeling skills, they are more concentrated in paper 6, but they might also appear in paper 2 and paper 4, especially uh, in the questions like which are lengthier and have more weightage, like 9 mark question or a 7 mark question. And these kind of questions are usually asked towards the end, where so, and in these problems you will find some sort of real world context associated with them. So have you guys solved any past year questions of paper 6 recently?
Yeah.
Yes. In the classes, are you solving those problems at Sparkle? Anaya, did you try few past year questions?
I don't have this paper. I have the other code.
Okay, you have the other one. Okay, no problem. What about others? Arthi? Devansh, Kabir,
Even I have 0580, so
okay.
I
Aravir,
I have done this paper.
you have done these papers. That's great. Okay, now I did some more research and I found some trends. If I talk about paper 2 and paper 4, so at the start of the papers, you will find more short, direct questions testing your basic skills. In the middle, you will find mixed topic questions, like you will find algebra and geometry combined in a single problem, or functions. Graphs and functions, they always go together, because if you are sketching a graph, you are obviously sketching the graph of a function. You will sometimes find trigonometry used in a mensuration problem, where you have to calculate the length with the help of trigonometry. Obviously, these type of questions will appear more in paper 4, and at the end of papers you will come across longer structured questions, often having some real life context associated with. If we talk about the repeated patterns, you will see algebra and functions. These two units are most important. They will appear in almost every paper. Trigo and geometry, they will appear in every series. And if I talk about probability and stats, you will get at least one substantial question in every series from probability and stats. If we talk about paper 6, in paper 6, obviously the first section is going to be the investigation section. Generally, you will find it's going to start with a numeric or geometric case. Sequences are frequently given in the investigation section. There could be some type of formula as well. It could be an algebraic expression as well. And then for the modeling section, you will see there is some real life context associated with it, and you have to choose, fit, and test a function as the model. What examiners are expecting from you, especially in paper 6, you should define your variables and definition clearly. Use tables, graphs from the calculator, and please make sure all the conclusions which you're getting, those are written in context, not just equations. I see this frequently in my class, that students just write the final answer and then they are not writing any conclusion associated with it. So please take care of these things. Now, how examiners actually give marks. You all know M, the method marks. A is for accuracy, getting the correct result, and B, the independent marks for correct statements but not tied to a particular method. So I have something for you guys. I actually have one question. Okay. Now, this is a problem from statistics. It's a 4 mark question. In the first part, we are supposed to write down the model score, and in the second part, we are supposed to calculate the mean score. So, could you tell me where we can get marks for method, where we'll get marks for accuracy, and where we'll get independent marks? Let's start with independent marks. So, if I'm just writing down the model score, which type of marks I'll get?
Independent.
Very good, Anaya. And while I'm calculating the mean score, then
You'd get, I think, one for the formula, writing it, then one for the method, and then the independent mark for the answer.
absolutely correct. Very good, Anaya. So it's very important that whenever we are getting a question, we should think about all these aspects, like where I could get method marks for this question. Am I using the method correctly, or am I mentioning the method correctly in my answer sheet or not? Okay, so please take care of these things. Now, how to answer so that you can gain marks. Now, in this session, see, the idea behind this session is, uh, whosoever is attending this session, my objective is, I can easily guarantee you, if you follow the things which I'll be sharing with you during this session, you can easily increase your score by 10 to 15 marks. I'm talking about total, like combined all the three papers. And that's the least I'm talking about. And by just following some basic tips. So please ensure that you always set up equations and diagrams clearly. Simplify step by step. Most of the times we end up doing mental calculation, and we reach to the final answers and we just mention the final answer, and we skip writing the intermediate steps. Whichever substitution you are doing, show that substitution into the formula, and make sure you're only doing the rounding towards the end to get the required accuracy. Because if you are doing the rounding in the intermediate steps, so that will surely affect your final answer. So please ensure you take care of this thing. For explain justify questions, use short sentences plus correct mathematical statements, and always refer to the context, like whatever answer you're mentioning. For example, if you're getting the speed to be 5 meter per second, so you should write the speed is 5 meter per second. You should not just write x is equal to 5. Okay. So please take care of these things. For paper 6, you need to state your model clearly and you need to comment on how well it fits, and you should mention its limitation as well, because I'm sure most of the models that we deal with in paper 6 questions, they have some sort of limitation as well. For example, even today itself I was doing one question where there was a formula for area. Okay, it was something like x times 400 minus x. So could you tell me, like, if the area of a rectangle is given by x times 400 minus x, what is the limitation that I have here? I'll just write it. If the area of a rectangle is given by x times 400 minus x, where x represents the length of the rectangle and 400 minus x represents the width. So could you tell me the limitation that I have in my model?
The area is unknown.
Area is unknown, correct?
Or
Anything
also,
else?
The length also.
yeah.
What's the limitation of length? Can I use any value of x?
Or no.
No.
You'll have to do the positive one.
Positive one. So can I use 500? Can I keep x as 500?
No.
X has to be only a positive value, so it will, because it's length. So it
So
And
can be
400
500.
minus x should not be equal to 0. It should
It
be greater
should
than
be
0.
positive and less than 400.
correct. Very good, Devansh. X has
Yeah.
to be positive and it has to be less than 400 as well. Very good. Because if I take the value of x as 500, so 400 minus x will become negative. So that's my limitation. That's kind of like domain of this function. If I'm treating my model as a function, if I'm writing this as a function fx, so it's x times 400 minus x. See, if it's a quadratic function given to you without any context, then the domain is all the real numbers. You can put any value of x. But if we associate it, if we associate this with the context that we are using, it represents the area of a rectangle, then we have a limitation that x has to be between 0 and 400. Okay. So these are the kind of limitations you are expected to identify, okay, while solving paper 6 problems. Now, what's a smart preparation plan? So you are expected to perform a syllabus checklist, tick off every extended learning objective once you can do exam style questions. Timed practice, this is very important. How often does it happen with you that you are out of time while you're attempting any maths paper? You know the answers to the questions, you know how to solve them, but you still don't have time left. Does it happen with anyone?
Yeah.
It does. And what's the best way of improving this? Time practice. Just solve as many mock tests as you can. Okay. Uh, use some sort of alarm or any method which you find comfortable, and make sure you practice as many papers as possible in a time frame. whenever you are revising, please ensure, when especially when you are doing your final revision. I'm sure you all are in the phase of final revision. So let's say I want to revise trigonometry. It's no, and I just have one day or probably let's say 4 or 5 hours to revise trigonometry. So what's the best way of approaching it? Practice as many past year questions as I can based upon trigonometry. Okay. So topic wise past papers are very important. For paper's sake, solve as many past year papers as possible, because in most of the questions you will see the question structure, the style of questions, that's kind of repetitive. So please ensure that you make use of that. And a weekly review to revisit your mistakes and fix them as soon as possible. That is also very important. Now I have another activity planned for you. So I'll show you some answers from my students, okay? And they have actually committed some mistakes in their solutions. Okay, I have deducted a few marks, but I want you guys to identify where the marks are deducted. So this is actually first question. On the given axis, the student was supposed to sketch the graph of cos x, and then they are supposed to solve cos x equals to 0.294. Now I'll show you what my student did. This was the response. Should I give full 4 marks?
No,
Why, Devansh?
because first I see that B part is completely wrong. We had to use alpha and the quadrants to take that out
Hmm,
for the B part. And the graph, I think.
The graph should have been like a smooth curve.
correct.
And yeah, there should have been two answers for B.
That's the thing. There are actually that's one of the most important things that I was looking for. If you look at the graph, you will actually see uh, if 0.294 is somewhere here on the y-axis, so you will see I actually have two solutions. So for the part B, obviously marks will be deducted where the student is supposed to write the solution. The student only got one of the solutions, 72.9, which probably corresponds to this particular point, but not for the second one. Now, in the first part of this question, the student was supposed to sketch the graph. Could you find any other mistake in the graph apart from the student not being able to sketching a smooth curve? Any other mistake you can figure out in the graph? No? None?
Maybe graph should have like 45, 90, like that.
That's fine. Scale you can decide by yourself, but it's very important that you mark the axis. Even if you look at the question, you can see axes are being marked clearly. So these 3 points marking origin, which corresponds to 0, 0, x-axis and y-axis. This is very important. Okay. So please take care of these things. Now I'll show you the second question. Could you identify the mistake?
Says to give to one significant figure.
Correct. That's a mistake. The student is asked to give answer correct to one significant figure, but the student has answered to two significant figures. Correct. There is one more major mistake. Could you identify that?
They didn't resubstitute the rounded values in the original form. So that
Okay.
would be like one less mark for method.
Correct. Anything else you can figure out? Okay. What do we have? 1.95 is multiplied with what? 9.92 square, right?
They didn't square the answer after rounding.
And what the student has copied? 9.922. And he has taken it approximately equal to 10.
They
So
took the square as 2.
correct, correct. So that's a mistake. So see, sometimes because we are in the exam, and due to that exam pressure, we tend to make these kind of mistakes, especially with squares and cubes and the powers. So please make sure all the values which are provided in the question, you are copying all those values correctly. Now we have another one. Okay, so now we have a ratio. Could you identify the mistake here? The student was asked to write this ratio in the simplest
You
form.
can
It's
do it for
not in the simplest form. They can still divide it by
Correct. It could further be simplified. It's not in the simplest form. How often do you guys get a chance to show your answers you're working to your school teachers apart from the exams? Do you share your work with your teachers regularly
Yeah,
apart from exams and tests?
yeah, pretty often.
Okay, and you get regular feedback on that?
Yeah,
Okay. And Anaya, how exactly are you doing this at Sparkle during class?
yeah, during class. Yeah.
So how you are able to do that during the class?
As in like
I
stop.
guess with the help of the note vision device
Yeah,
provided to
with
you.
no question. Yeah.
Right. So that note vision device is very helpful. So to all the Sparkle students, I would request please ensure. I know that all of you are using that in all your classes, but sometimes when we are not able to attend the classes from our home, we tend to skip the note vision device. So please ensure all your classes you're keeping the note vision device with you. You're keeping it on always, so that teachers can see whatever you are doing. Okay, whatever you are writing, they don't have to wait for your final answers. If if there's a mistake in any one of the intermediate steps, the teacher can correct you immediately. Okay, so I hope all of you will take care of this. Now let's do another one. Two numbers have a difference of 3 and a product of 88. Find the numbers. And this is the student's response. Could you identify the mistake here?
this starting it with a formula. So first they should show it like
Yes, like I don't know. As a teacher, I don't know what is x, what is x plus 3, why you are multiplying them. You should write, you should state clearly that let the first number be x. Since the difference between the two of them is 3, that's why the second number I am assuming to be x plus 3. Okay, it could be x minus 3 as well. So if you write that, that's great. Like you can take the second number as x minus 3 or x plus 3. Even towards the end, you will see the student has not clearly specified the numbers. For a teacher, I don't know whether his numbers are 11, 8, 11 minus 8. The student has just mentioned correct 11 into 8. But so he cross checked his answer, but for himself, but it's not mentioned anywhere specifically, like what are the two numbers I was looking for as a teacher. So surely marks will be deducted in these cases. Now this is the last one. It's a trigo problem, and this is the response which I got. Could you identify the mistake?
Again, there would be more than one answer for solution,
Okay, and
and there should be two final answers.
see, as a
just
teacher, when I'm looking at this solution, okay,
they
my
should in the first one at least they should use cos, right? Because it is angle of depression.
see, as a teacher, my biggest concern is I don't know what is X. I don't know what is Y.
Mm.
Why are you not using a figure in a trigonometry question? If it's a problem related to heights and distance, always draw a diagram. Okay, it doesn't have to be a diagram up to the scale according to the scale. Okay, it could be a rough diagram as well, but always draw a diagram so that you can at least show that the height you have taken as X, and always label your diagram. So you can mention, let the lighthouse be AB. Let the two ships be standing at the points C and D. Okay, AB I am considering to be X, or Y, the height of the lighthouse. The distance between the two ships I am considering to be Y. Because if you provide this kind of solution, it's very difficult for me like to understand like what the student has calculated. So for a trick question, especially related to heights and distance, always draw a type. Okay, so these are some of the most common mistakes which I found in the answer sheets of my students while we were doing all the proctored tests. So please take care of these things. Now, if I talk about topic specific, so like in algebra, you will see most of the time students will mistake sign related errors when they are shifting the terms, transposing them from one side to the another side. They forgot to change the sign of the expression or the term. If it's a calculator allowed question, they just type everything into the calculator without simplifying. Please ensure calculator you only use for numerical calculation. Okay, not you are not solving the entire question with the help of your calculator. Simplify as much as possible manually. Okay, towards the end, or when you see large numbers or complex numbers being involved, when you're supposed to, let's say, multiply 4.68 with 7.63, feel free to use the calculator. But wherever possible, write your intermediate steps, uh, and in the initial steps, please avoid using calculator initially from the beginning itself. I have also seen what the students do. They just read the question, they put everything in the calculator, and they just write the final answer. That is fine for a 1 mark question where you will only get 1 mark for your answer, which could be a subpart of a lengthy question, but not in other cases. In geometry and trigonometry, diagrams are very important. Incorrect diagrams could lead to a wrong answer. Labeling the diagrams is very important, and sometimes students tend to confuse between the trigonometric ratios as well, like which one to use, whether to use cos or sine or tan. That is another common mistake. So you can probably draw a diagram in front of a study table. At least you can clearly label what is cos, what is tan, what is sine. In statistics and probability, common mistakes are misreading the values. Simple charts in probability, again, they just tend to write the final answer. Like if I ask you what is the probability of getting a 3 on a die, if a die is rolled, what is the probability of getting a 3? Could you tell me?
1/6.
1/6. So should I write 1/6 as my answer directly?
Yeah.
If it's a 2 mark question,
No.
then how should I write my answer?
It's probably wait. Total probability 1 something.
So
Then
you
probability of getting one number from the sixth is 1/6.
correct. So you should always mention your total number of outcomes in a probability problem and favorable number of outcomes. And then you should write as well that probability of my event that's equal to favorable number of outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Okay. Now, so some of the easy marks, the 10 to 15 marks, which I spoke about earlier, that you're easily donating and you can skip donating them. These are the parts where students tend to lose those easy marks, forgetting the units, not mentioning the units in the answers, rounding incorrectly. Please ensure what is mentioned in the question, whether you are supposed to round to two significant figures or three significant figures or the nearest integers. Leaving answers unsimplified, not labeling x's on graphs, writing answers without any context, just like say 4.2 is my final answer, x is equal to 4.2, but in the question it was asked, find the distance between A and B, which is 4.2 kilometers. If you just write 4.2, I don't know whether it is 4.2 meters, 4.2 centimeters. So you should always mention the units and not copying values correctly from the calculator. That's another common mistake. If we talk about the grade boundaries for this IGCSE International Math exam, okay, all three papers combined out of 200. This is again a rough estimate based upon the past year's analysis. Obviously, it would vary from paper to paper, a series to series. But if you're looking for A star, you need somewhere between 170 to 200. You need 170 above for a star, but again, it could vary. For A, you can expect a score between 150 to 170. For V, 130 to 150, and for all the different grades, the grade boundaries are mentioned over here. The important takeaway from this session would be the exam pattern. It's predictable, so make sure that you use it for your benefit. Algebra, functions, graphs, trigonometry. These are the core marks. Clear working and reasoning unlock method marks. Paper 6 is your chance to show mathematical thinking and communication. A structured plan beats random practice. Now, this one last activity which I want to do with all of you. Okay, so the first box that you can fill later on. Okay, so if you can create a checklist for yourself, something like this, like my three weakest high weightage topics are, you need to identify the topics where you are lagging. You have to create some sort of timetable for you where you will mention, I will do one full paper every 3 days or every 5 days starting from, let's say, this date. When I lose a mark, I will record it here. You need to create a table sort of a thing. Either you can do it digitally, or you can, I think it's easier if you do it in your notebook itself. And from this session, my three immediate changes are, could you tell me about these changes? What could you possibly do in your answer writing methods, or the way you approach the problems? Anything?
Always show the working.
Correct. Very good. And come on, guys. Argya, Kabir, Niranjan, Myra, Ariman. What are your takeaways? Ayan?
So you asking like what I learned from this?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. I joined very late, so I
It's okay.
don't
No
know much.
problem. No problem, Niranjan. Okay, so you can probably create this checklist later on. Okay. And yeah. So now the Q&A section. So guys, I just want to tell you one thing before we start with Q&A. As I mentioned towards the beginning of this session, we'll be sharing a few mock papers with you, which you can use for your final exam preparation. Now to share the mock papers, I just want to ensure that I have your correct email address. So just give me a second. You must be getting a poll at your screen. So please ensure that you mention your correct email address as the response so that I can share the papers with you. Also, you will get the question papers on your email IDs which you are sharing over here. Please feel free to. In fact, the purpose of those papers is that you solve them, and if possible, please share your responses, your answer sheet. You can create a PDF and you can revert on the same email ID. We'll evaluate your answer sheets and we'll share our assessment with you. So feel free to share your responses with us for that mock paper. Along with the mock papers, we'll be also sharing the marking scheme with you. But while you are attempting the paper, please don't take the help of the marking scheme. Also ensure that you're using some sort of timer so that you're solving the paper within the mentioned time frame only. So I think everyone has shared their email IDs. Okay. So guys, any questions, please feel free to discuss, ask anything related to the exam, pattern, concepts. No questions, nothing?
So I had one question about
Yes.
topical past papers.
Hmm.
So where can I access high quality topical past papers because it's often hard to find good topical past papers, even though past papers in general are available.
So Agya, here at Sparkle, we use past paper questions in almost all our sessions. We try to include them wherever possible. But yeah, during the revision phase, which is going on currently, so we are scheduling dedicated sessions by clubbing a few topics, and we are discussing only past paper questions in those sessions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
uh, if you're not enrolled with us, I'm not sure whether you're enrolled for the
I'm
maths
in
course.
for another tuition, sir, another
Okay,
course.
no
But
problem. So in that case, you will find them over internet,
mm,
and if any one of you is interested in enrolling with us, so these are the contact details. We are offering courses. We are offering one-on-one personalized classes for all the maths and science courses, along with English and economics as well. So if you have anything to discuss, please feel free to contact us. These are the contact details. You can copy this number and the email ID. If you want, you can take a screenshot as well. Also, I would like to tell you about the upcoming sessions. So uh, tomorrow there is a session for economics. If you want, you can take a screenshot for this schedule as well, and you will receive the invite. If you are registered for these sessions, we will receive the invite for all the sessions. Tomorrow there's a session for economics, then chemistry. We'll do another session for maths, which is on 17th Jan. That's for additional mathematics. Do we have anyone who has taken additional mathematics here?
I have.
Okay, you have. Okay, so we'll be doing another session for additional mathematics as well. That session is on 17th Jan. Okay. So I guess we are done here. Anything you guys want to ask?
sorry, sir. Where can I access this PPT?
Uh, you what you can do? I'll share my contact number as well in the chat. Okay, you can reach out to me,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
and whatever information you need, I'll share with you. So
Okay.
I have mentioned my contact number in the chat. So guys, please feel free to reach out to me over this number via WhatsApp, or you can call me as well
Okay.
if you need any sort of support.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, so thank you so much everyone for joining. All the very best for your exams. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.